A billionaire slipped into his mansion after midnight, craving silence. But from behind the bathroom door came something else, something that would change everything. His maid lay slumped by the toilet, two tiny infants strapped to her back, both wrapped in orange cloth. Towels soaked the floor. A dull knife rested by the leaking valve. Company policy said one thing: dismiss her. What followed shattered every rule in that house. Before we begin, drop your city and time in the comments below. Also, don't forget to strike that like and subscribe button. Let's dive in. Ethan Vale paused when he heard running water where none should be. Midnight meant stillness here. His footsteps grew sharper as he moved down the hall, until he pushed the bathroom door open and froze. Luz, dressed in her blue uniform and yellow gloves, leaned weakly against the toilet. Two infants, peaceful in orange onesies, were tied securely to her back. Towels were spread neatly along the tiles. The knife by the valve told the rest of the story. Luz, Ethan's voice cut through the air. Explain. Her eyes widened. Please, sir, don't shout. They'll wake. My house, my rules, he replied coldly. No dependents. Ever. The daycare flooded, sir. The sitter never came. I couldn't leave them. I strapped them so I could still work, she whispered. I can't afford to lose this job. But what she didn't know was that her life was about to change forever. Ethan's voice was laced with anger as he repeated, So, you took two infants into a bathroom filled with bleach, tools, and broken plumbing? Her voice wavered but stayed strong. Yes. Because you demanded this bathroom be spotless before your guests arrived. I cleaned every corner, but when the valve jammed, water started spilling. If I hadn't stopped it, your floor would have flooded. I protected your home. You should have called maintenance. I did, she replied, her voice shaking. They told me, tomorrow. But tomorrow is too late for you, isn't it? You want everything perfect. I tried to give you that. All I had was a knife and two children who need formula by morning. One of the twins whimpered. She shifted, rocking gently until the sound faded. This isn't recklessness, Mr. Vale. It's survival. You asked for a spotless home and I gave you that. I didn't know how else to do both. Ethan's gaze fell on the towels, the hasty fix, and the raw red welts where the gloves had cut into her skin. What are their names? He asked, his voice softer now. Noah and Caleb. 7 months, Mara said, chin raised. They're not sick. They're not trouble. They're just mine. You broke company policy, Ethan said flatly. I did, she replied without hesitation. HR will demand my termination tomorrow. Then fire me tonight, she said, her voice sharp. So I know whether I walk home with them on my back or wait for a bus that'll never come. Just don't leave me guessing. Ethan rubbed his forehead. You don't understand the kind of risk this puts me in. And you don't understand what kind of risk it is for me every day, she shot back. If I stay home, they starve. If I bring them, I break your rule. Either way, I lose. But tonight, I fixed your problem and kept them safe. Tell me, Mr. Vale, who really failed here. Silence. The flush valve ticked in the background, steady and unrelenting. Ethan knelt beside the tank, twisting the valve with precision. The sound of rushing water halted. He stood, brushing his hands clean. You nearly cut yourself with that knife. And yet, the leak's gone, Mara replied, her tone quiet but sharp. Ethan studied her. The twins rested peacefully on her shoulders. Her back was rigid, but the exhaustion in her eyes was unmistakable. You broke the rule, he said again, his voice softer now. I did, she answered, unflinching. Ethan exhaled heavily, shaking his head. You're not leaving tonight. You'll stay in the downstairs guest room. We'll talk in the morning. Mara's eyes welled up with tears. She turned her head, not wanting him to see. I don't need your pity. This isn't pity, Ethan replied, his voice steady. This is me admitting that tonight, you did more for this house than anyone on my payroll. Her lip trembled, but she stayed silent. Get up slowly, he instructed. Don't rush. Mara rose, unsteady, still gripping the sling straps. Ethan extended his hand. She hesitated, then accepted it. Her hand was warm, rough, trembling. The distant crackle of a guard's radio reached them as security approached. Ethan straightened, his posture shifting. If they ask you, stop the leak. Don't mention the twins. Not tonight. Mara's eyes widened. You'd cover for me? Ethan's gaze hardened, his resolve clear. But what would happen when the truth comes out? Ethan glanced at Noah and Caleb, then back at her. Sometimes the rules aren't right, he said quietly. Sometimes breaking them is the only way anyone notices. Her throat tightened. Thank you. The sound of footsteps grew nearer. Ethan moved first, stepping into the hallway. Stay close, he murmured. Mara, her grip tight around her sons, followed closely. Marco, the night guard, appeared at the top of the stairs. Mr. Vale, the motion sensor, tripped. His eyes landed on Mara and the sling strapped to her back. She fixed the leak. Ethan cut him off. Stand down. Marco hesitated, then nodded. Yes, sir. As the guard disappeared, Ethan guided Mara toward the kitchen. She was on the brink of collapse, her twins shifting lightly as they slept. Sit, Ethan commanded. I can't, Mara protested weakly. Sit. His voice brooked no argument. She lowered herself into a chair, clutching Caleb as he stirred. Ethan opened the fridge, pulled out a bottle of milk, and began to warm it. His hands were stiff, awkward, but relentless in their purpose. You don't have to do this, Mara whispered. I do, Ethan replied. He handed her the bottle. Feed him. Without a word, she took it. Caleb latched on. Noah nestled against her chest. For a moment, the only sound in the room was the gentle rhythm of babies feeding. But as Ethan watched her, his mind couldn't shake the question, how much longer could he keep up this charade? Ethan stood by the counter, arms crossed. I could fire you tonight. It would save me the trouble. It's what everyone expects. So why don't I? Mara looked up, her eyes shimmering. Why? Because I saw the towels. I saw your hands. I saw you calm two infants while fixing a leak with nothing but a knife. His voice tightened. I built this empire by demanding perfection. But I missed something important. People don't live by rules. They survive by emergencies. Her lip quivered. Sir, I'm not asking for charity. Just a chance to work without choosing between feeding my kids and keeping a job. Ethan let out a deep breath. You've got it. Mara froze. What? I'm changing the rules. Starting now. An emergency clause for parents. No one loses their job for trying to survive. Mara's eyes widened. HR will flip out tomorrow. Let them, he replied, his tone unwavering. Tears slid down her face. I can't believe this. I've heard promises before. Don't believe my words, Ethan said, his voice firm. Believe the action. She shook her head slowly. Why me? You could hire 10 others without kids. But 10 others wouldn't have stopped this house from flooding tonight. You did. The twins stirred. Mara gently rocked them, swaying instinctively. When my mother cleaned houses, every boss said, we're family here. But when she asked for a sick day, she was no longer family. I know, Ethan said quietly. But trust this, tomorrow morning I'll fund a nursery downstairs. I'll sign it. You'll see it. Her breath caught. Are you serious? I am. They sat in silence, the weight of the night settling around them. Mara kissed the top of Noah's head. If I'd fallen asleep longer, they could have been hurt. You didn't fall asleep, Ethan replied, his voice soft. You collapsed and still you kept them safe. That's more than most of us can say by dawn. At that moment, HR barged in, papers in hand. Clause violation. Grounds for dismissal. But would Ethan's promise be enough to change everything? Ethan pushed the papers aside. Rewrite it. Add an emergency child care clause. Immediate pay for any missed shifts because of it. Build a temporary nursery by the gym. Sir, that will cost a lot. HR hesitated. Flooded marble costs more. Cynicism costs more. Do it. HR left in stunned silence. Mara stood at the doorway holding Caleb. You really meant it? Yes, Ethan replied. And you'll keep your job. But there's one condition. Her stomach tightened. What's that? You show me how you got that valve open with a butter knife. She blinked, then laughed through her tears. Deal. Later, the mansion buzzed with investors. Crystal glasses clinked and polished marble shone. No one noticed the nursery plan spread across Ethan's desk. When asked what kept him up at night, he didn't mention markets or competitors. Instead, he said softly, the fear that I'm tidy but not good. Mara left with Noah and Caleb asleep in her arms. As the elevator doors closed, she paused. I broke the rule. You could have made an example out of me. I did, Ethan replied. Just a different kind. The doors closed and Ethan caught a glimpse of himself. A man in a suit, changed not by wealth, but by two babies in orange who had forced him to rewrite the rules, and himself. What would you have done in Ethan's shoes? Would you have fired her or rewritten the rules? Share your thoughts below. And if this story hit home, like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for more powerful human-centered stories. Don't miss the next chapter, where the rules might just change again.